Hello and welcome to Sujith Talks. My name is Sujith Billa, registered migration agent here in Melbourne. This video is called the Australian Immigration News Bulletin, 4th Feb 2021. In this video, I'm going to talk about partner visas, resident return visas, points tested skilled visas, 485 visa, visitor visas, ACS skills assessment, IELTS PTE, and finally Australian citizenship. Let's begin with 485, the trend in 485 where the secondary applicant of a 485 visa would become a primary applicant and would include the primary applicant of the previous 485 as a secondary applicant. There was some confusion that the secondary applicants wouldn't be the primary applicants moving forward on a second 485 visa. The MIA is saying that the department will soon come out with a statement or an explanation that it is indeed the same and there is no change on that front. So you just have to wait for the confirmation on the department's website probably. Moving forward, in this video is about IELTS and PTE. So how much should you score in IELTS and PTE? It really depends on what visa you're going for. Is it a student visa? Is it a 485 visa? You need to look at the requirements, the eligibility requirements on the Home Affairs website. And if it is the points tested visas such as 189, 190, 491, obviously the more score you get, the better chances you have, but it is not necessarily true in COVID environment because they are picking critical sectors. But moving forward, it's always good to have a better score in IELTS or PTE, and if you're writing PTE, just compare the scores between PTE and IELTS according to the PTA website. But the department hasn't approved them yet, but moving forward it could do, which means if you get 79 plus in PTE, you might not get 20 points if the department is going with the PTE website's recommendation, the Pearson's recommendation, which is, it's not saying 79 is equal to 8 in IELTS. So check out PTE website for more information on that. But I would strongly recommend you to take the IELTS or PTE test if you're considering migrating to Australia, regardless of when it would be, on when the travel restrictions will ease. You just have to go for the test and get the maximum score. And who knows, we might see English language test requirement for partner visas as well coming very soon. So you just can't avoid this IELTS and PTE. And at Pristine Australian Migration, we are providing IELTS and PTE services. All you have to do is just book a demo class with trainer Jacqueline de Cruz, and then you can see how many classes you want to take forward. It's a free demo class. You can simply go to my website sujithtalks.com and schedule one for yourself. Recently, there were several refusals in ACS for not meeting payment advice or payment evidence, or showing insufficient, giving insufficient documents to ACS. So previously accepted work reference letters without any payment evidence are no longer accepted, and you are seeing several refusals from ACS. And just because you go for a review, it doesn't mean that you will get a successful outcome. You really need to show the documents that were missing in the previous application, and this is the time you need to see a registered migration agent. So I've done several ACS skills assessment applications before, and I myself have a master's degree in IT and a bachelor's degree in IT, and I've got some background in software testing as well. So simply go to my website sujithtalks.com, schedule a phone or a video consultation session. If you're after an ACS review, I'll have a look at your refusal letter and the documents that you have submitted before, and tell you if you have any chances moving forward should you go for a review application. Coming to 189, 190, 489, 491 visa processing for overseas applicants. As you know, there's not much going on in offshore posts. Overall, the trend is they will not look at the overseas applications or the offshore applications for some time unless the travel restrictions are eased. So do not expect a lot of movement there in offshore visa applications, and do not expect that you'll get a lot of invitations if you're an offshore applicant. We're hardly getting any invitations, and 189, if you see, the trend is all different. It's just the critical sectors now. 190 as well, they are just going for onshore applicants, and 489, 491, those who have applied, they are still waiting for an outcome. So keep an eye on the disclosure logs 2021 on Home Affairs website to see the processing trends. 887 and 191 visa applications. Moving forward from 489, you need to apply 887. And some people got stuck overseas on a 489 visa. Although there are concessions that are available for them to make an application to 887, not all the applicants are able to take those concessions to their advantage, because they're only talking about those applicants who have come close to meet the eligibility requirements of 887, but those who just got 489 and never entered Australia on a 489 and simply waiting for the department to open the borders, they are in real trouble. So some people, you can say that they got a visa in Feb last year 2020 and they can't come. Now we're talking about Feb 2021 as I speak now. So it's been 1 year. They can't come, and that 1 year is wasted. So will the department give them an additional year? Time will tell. Just wait and watch that space. And with 191, moving forward from 491, if you're in Australia, if you're on a 491 visa, keep an eye on that requirement, that income threshold that you have to meet if you're going to apply 191. So if you're self-employed, don't give yourself just $20,000 per annum or something. You really have to earn that income, 54,000 around, and that will make you eligible moving forward. If you're having any doubt about eligibility requirements for 887, 191, go to my website sujithtalks.com, schedule a phone or a video consultation session to get immigration advice from me. Also, in this video is about 309/100 overseas partner visas and 820, 801 onshore partner visas. What's going on there? See, the processing times, department is really trying to give a lot of visas because it's trying to meet the target that it has set for this financial year, which is over 70,000 visas in this financial year. So sometimes you can see some applications getting a grant even though they do not have a valid police clearance certificate. So they could be a bit flexible in some of the application. Doesn't mean that they will be flexible with your application. Always get all the documents ready, make it decision ready to get a grant straight away. You don't want them to ask something and you give them, and then it will take a while for you to get that grant. So we do not know whether they'll continue with this 70,000 plus moving forward in the next financial year, but this financial year, that's a lot of numbers for partner visas. 820/801 applicants. Now it's the same thing again. You be ready with your documents, but just in case you're overseas, got stuck there on a bridging visa, unfortunately you cannot come. Suppose you applied 820, you got a bridging visa, you took a bridging visa B, departed Australia and got stuck there. Again, you need that travel exemption to come inside and wait for your permanent residence application. So I'm doing partner visa applications. If you're interested to get immigration advice from me, or you want me to lodge a partner visa application for you, I'm more than happy to do that. Simply go to my website sujithtalks.com, schedule a phone or a video consultation session. Now the partner visas are supposed to be getting onshore grants even for the offshore partner visas 309. That is not yet a law, and Parliament is going on these days, so it could happen anytime this month, I would say, or even the next month, because apparently the department is saying in the first quarter they would do these changes, and it applies to parent visas also. Those applicants who need to depart Australia to get that grant do not need to do so temporarily, apparently, for the time being during COVID. It's not yet law, so we really need to wait for some more time. Moving on, 600 visitor visa. 600 visitor visa is very much connected to partner visas, because usually people apply a partner visa, then do a visitor visa and come to Australia, stay with their partner till they get that partner visa. Unfortunately, due to COVID, this is not possible, because if you apply a 309 and then do a 600, you really need that travel exemption again. And because your genuine relationship or your relationship is not assessed by the department, they need a lot of documents to prove that you are the partner. So even though there is some allowance for the immediate member of the family to come to Australia, which is a partner in this case. You really need to show a lot of documents to get that travel exemption. And visitor visas otherwise, just like a parent or a friend, those kind of visitor visa applications are put on hold, or they're not processing according to the normal processing times. They sometimes are just given to other officers who usually deal with partner visa applications. 155, when is a good time to come back to Australia if you're a PR? People are dying to get permanent residence, and if you have a permanent residence visa, come on, you have to come back to Australia because no one is stopping you to come. If you're a permanent resident, tell yourself that you're a lucky person, because permanent residence has become extremely difficult in these times in Australia. So there's never a better time to come back to Australia. It's always good to come to Australia, but it really depends whether you're getting flights and whether you can afford those air tickets, and whether you have another job right now which you can't leave because it's uncertain time. You can't leave the job, come here and become jobless if you're not having enough money in your bank account. So if you're one of those resident return visa holders or a PR holder who has to apply for a resident return visa because the PR travel rights are expiring, I'm the right person to talk to. I've been doing that for some time now. You can go to my website, schedule a phone or a video consultation session. I can run through the requirements of that, including the substantial ties and compelling reasons, what's applicable to you in your case, and whether it is a good time to come to Australia. If not now, when is a good time to come to Australia? Definitely it will be in the near future, not few years down the line. Finally, about Australian citizenship, recently I've been reading tribunal cases, and many cases are related to Australian citizenship. And in Australian citizenship, it's usually related to character. They want a person of a good character to get Australian citizenship. People are really not sure whether a traffic offence is a serious matter. I'm telling you now in this video that it is considered as a serious offence because you are putting Australians' life at danger. So if you have a conviction, traffic offence, and it went to court or it didn't go to court, just disclose it in the application and deal with it. And many of the applicants at the tribunal stage, they did not disclose it, thinking that it's okay, thinking that it's not a criminal offence. And then the tribunal member had to tell them, why didn't you disclose? And then that could be considered as not a good character itself, not disclosing. Forget about what was not disclosed and what's the seriousness of it. The other issue with citizenship applications is the identity issue. You really need to prove your identity. So you need to have that sufficient information and sufficient documents to prove that identity. Thank you for watching this video. For immigration assistance or advice, simply go to my website sujithtalks.com, schedule a phone or a video consultation session. For more Pristine information about Australian immigration, subscribe to Sujith Talks on YouTube, like my Facebook page, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Till then, this is Sujith Billa, registered migration agent here in the most livable city on earth, Melbourne.